It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. I got it. It's okay. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I always really look forward to these shows. Today's an early day for me. You know, I had a show real early this morning and with Indigo Angel and Göbekli Tepe. If you guys didn't check that out, check that out. But this show I have with me Pink Bell Aloha. We're going to be talking about. We're going to be doing galactic Akashic readings today. We're going to be getting into the Jupiter space station. We're going to be getting into the eclipse and our experiences with the eclipse, the UFO sightings that were found during the eclipse. So that's going to be exciting. We have pictures of some of them. I'm trying to pull them up now. Famous starseeds, Janis Joplin, the 27th Club. So we'll be getting into a little bit more of that and a little bit more about my guest. Pink Bella is she's all around esoteric handy woman. You know, she's amazing. She's a certified quantum healer, multidimensional light body practitioner, certified quantum and galactic Akashic records practitioner, certified USUI Reiki master, teacher and practitioner, certified crystal and 12 to 22 chakra instructor and practitioner, quantum Akashic records readings and clearings, life and personal empowerment coach, and she also does ASCENSION, multidimensional guide and WAYSHOWER, Akashic records readings, ancestral, personal, past lives, Atlantis, Lemuria, galactic wars, dark ET, soul contracts, and more. GRIDWORK, JEDI training, dragon activations, quantum healing and releasing with implants, seals, tags, and JSEALS, sacred space clearing, home, business, and property. That's why I said she does it all. So with all that said, you can contact her at her website, which is aloha.pinkbella.weebly.com, or her email is alohapinkbella@gmail.com. And with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Pink Bella, thanks for coming back on. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Rob? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Like I said, I just got back from the dentist, so I hope my face doesn't look funny. But I mean,
no, it looks fine. It looks fine. Yeah, you're so brave. So brave. So yeah, I'm excited.
They filled a tube on the top on this side, so this is all numb. And then they forgot to fill something over here. There's like a chunk taken out. So it's like I called them immediately. I was like, you guys gotta do something, you know. So I mean, I'm sure they will, but you know,
we could do a whole show just about dentistry for sure.
Yeah. So how was your eclipse? Did you see it?
No, I called it here in Vancouver. We had overcast and rain. They haven't really allowed us to see anything fantastic cosmically here in the Pacific Northwest since the 2017 solar eclipse. Like even the comet and everything. It's everything. We always get cloud and rain. It's just the weather manipulation. But what I did was I stayed in and I meditated and I got lots of downloads. So that was good. Yeah, it was really cool. How about you? What was?
Oh, it was an experience for sure. My friend called me and she was like, "Do you want to go watch the eclipse?" And she pulls into my apartment parking lot and she's blasting Dark Side of the Moon, which I thought was really. So we drove to the Pittsburgh Observatory. We were listening to the whole Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon album, and then when we got
that song came to me this morning. Before our show. Yeah, it came to me before the show. Yeah.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
And it was really perfect to listen to when you're like watching the eclipse. So we got to the place where the eclipse was. We went to an observatory here in Pittsburgh. It was like
cool.
It was a little bit overcast too, but it was like mostly sunny, and there was a lot of people. Like people were all just parked like on the hillside, and then everybody was watching it. But like I tried live streaming it, but it didn't really work. Like because I was trying to hold my glasses over the camera lens so I could see like the actual eclipse and I couldn't get good footage of it, so I just ended up deleting it. But it was still an interesting experience nonetheless, you know.
Yeah. Did you feel like what I loved? I've been sharing lots of footage after the fact. What I loved is so many people on the planet got together, even those that weren't in the totality, like even around the world, people were watching it remotely. Everyone got together for a really positive cosmic event, even though there was a lot of fear. You know, there was a lot of fear sort of imprinted on everything beforehand. Nobody knew what was going to happen. But I've even got a clip that I shared where everyone at Niagara Falls was singing together when the eclipse actually happened, right? So to me, I thought, now how amazing is it that we've gotten to a point now where people are gathering for cosmic events and looking up at the sky. And so many souls, like I started doing research yesterday about so many souls saw and caught UFOs and ships in and around the sun. all over the US and Canada.
I'm trying to pull it up now. I'm having trouble pulling up messages in Messenger, but as soon as I do, I'll share it. Let me see here.
So yeah, if anyone in the chat, if you were in the path of totality or if you experienced any kind of UFO phenomenon, let us know. So I sent Rob one clip to do with Arlington City. I believe that's in Virginia. It was huge. Multiple people. You can all go look it up on YouTube in case we can't pull it up. But multiple people caught like a large ship behind the clouds, and it was on an angle, and people were able to slow it down and watch it frame by frame. And then all sorts of different objects were seen. Like it wasn't just the typical, ships that we've seen in photos. There were a lot of orbs. There were a lot of like different colors. I just saw something. There was like some kind of blue cigar snake where it looked like a whole bunch of ships together, and there was a band of blue light around them. So I felt that there was going to be a lot of disclosure to humanity who was out there brave enough to be in the eclipse, right? Because remember the story is they wanted everybody to stay home and stay in and don't go out. So yeah, I think that that's great. I've done a collective reading, but I just pulled a couple of cards about the UFOs, like what the main message was. The sun is a stargate, and both benevolent and dark ET ships were being able to be seen coming in and out of the sun. So there was a lot of activity that day. Super interesting. So I feel like we're going to be the disclosure, right? Like people like Rob and people who are doing podcasts about UFOs, and we're going to be the actual disclosure, because a lot of the bodies that are governing all the information to come out are still kind of holding the cards close to their chest at the moment.
Yeah, so I agree. I'm just trying to pull up this video. I totally agree. That's cool that you got that card. Like that means, yeah. What other cards did you get for a collective? Like,
okay, yeah, so what I thought I would do, I just asked just before Rob got on, what messages do we all need, like post eclipse, just like as an update, because we do have another powerful have a couple of powerful astrology aspects this week. We have a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which I didn't know anything about until I started researching it, yesterday and the day before. But again, it's one of the most powerful cosmic events, and it's happening on the 20th. What's today, the 17th? So it's about another activation that only happens every 14 years. It's in Taurus, and that only happens every 80 something years. So Taurus is about the earth, and it is about abundance. And that's what Jupiter is trying to help us with. So that's why. And then my higher self said we need to look at the cards today to see about Jupiter being a space station. So I think that will be cool. Okay. So for the overall reading,
do you think there's other text? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think there's other texts that confirm that, like the Jupiter might be a space station or something like it?
Well, we're going to pull some cards on it today, and then we can both maybe do some more investigation. I think it's just part of the unfolding of what we've been told, even about the planets in our solar system hasn't been completely accurate. So yeah, right. Okay. And then you can share too. Like I'll just get through the reading, and then maybe you could share if you've had other guests on that also have brought kind of information around the moon and all of that. So we received the Temple of Truth. And by the way, Mercury is still in retrograde. It is connected to our throat chakra. And unfortunately, it's still in retrograde till the 24th. But I don't know about all of you, but my thinking has not been clear since the eclipse. Like I've been really having to stay focused, to be grounded. I've been dizzy. Like I felt like there was a huge wave of light activations for all of us through the eclipse, and it's continuing right now. So we got the Temple of Truth. So it's just a reminder that our throat chakra is still being recalibrated, and we're to be in our truth, live in our truth. But you also all might have a scratchy throat. You might not be, or you might not be thinking like myself. You might not be able to think clearly. Like the ideas might not be coming through to speak clearly, but it is about us being in our authentic selves. And what's interesting is I pulled some dragons. The Golden Atlantean dragon came in. So we weren't able to speak our truth at the end of the fall of Atlantis. Many of us had to disperse and leave. and those that were left behind that went through the fall were not able to. So that's part of what we're healing right now. We're healing this aspect and this other timeline of reality where we were not able. We knew so much we weren't able. Oh, are you able to bring it up? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I shared screen. So here, let me pull it. Says that's working. Is it can you see the you see the other YouTube page?
Yep, I can.
Oh, you can see it? Okay,
yeah,
great.
And let's
okay,
see
here it
if
is.
you, let's
so
see
this
if you
is
can
the video that Pink Belloc found, guys. You can see, yeah, you can. It's amazing. I mean, oh shit. It was gonna go. I even let it. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's going. I'm not playing bunny volume because I'll get a copyright for volume.
Smart. Well, if it's not working, we can also just you can just post it in your. Yeah, you could just post it in your community tab later. There it is. Like they put a circle around it. So you can kind of rewatch it. It kind of comes in on an angle.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like,
yeah, it's pretty cool. And like I said, there were multiple.
You see a better version of it here. This was an amazing one.
Yeah, yeah. I love that there were digital soldiers out there that were looking for that. There it is. Wow. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. So super cool.
That is. It's really cool. Thanks for finding that. That was amazing. Like, did you see a lot of them? Were you seeing like ones from all over the place? Like,
yeah. So I'll send you. I'll send you another link afterwards. But I think there's a lot more showing up now. So that's interesting. But I love the fact that there were so many digital soldiers out there that were like, oh, we're not just going to look at the eclipse. We also want to be watching what else is going on. So in some locations, it was really obvious, like the skies were so clear that like these weird kind of orb things would show up or pulsing, ships. And then in other places, it was cloudy, like what we just saw. But there were multiple people that saw it at the same time. So they filmed it. So yeah, very cool. Very cool. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're out. They're here. They're here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've known they've been here, but it's like getting the mainstream public to realize that they're here. That's what it is. Like it's like the mainstream public doesn't want to believe that there's ETs, that there's UFOs. Like even if they're coming interdimensionally, they're coming from somewhere. Or they're accessing interdimensional realms to like fly through extraterrestrially, like through space. Like they're using wormholes or portals or I believe stargates. That's what I was thinking. Like especially over in the Middle East. Like when I was looking at that Göbekli Tepe today, it reminded me of like something like that. There's probably a Stargate in that area, or in Syria, or in Turkey, or the old Babylon. That's probably why we went to Iraq. But,
well, that's actually a good point, even about the Atlantean message. So the original Stargates that we used so we have to think Atlantis was in a higher dimension. It was in a higher frequency. That's why there's all this like, was it real? Was it not real? Because there's going to be those of us that were there and we remembered it and we went through all of it. And then there are those on the planet who had no recollection, no experience with it whatsoever, because it was like an overlay over the planet. It was a different dimension and reality. So if we think about any of the sci-fi things, it would have been like a city in the clouds that only if you're a high frequency, you would know about it. Right. So that's why there's been all this iffy stuff. I just always knew it existed. So the Stargate system that was connected to those that were those of us that were in Atlantis, where we could come and go, we used the Stargate system. It collapsed. That was part of the fall of the earth. So it collapsed. So even some of the Stargates that they're fighting over right now, they're not fully functional. They were disabled by the benevolent galactics, because we're still, like, it's like Dolores Cannon shared with us, we're still the planet that's in quarantine. And I watched a really interesting clip this morning too with Stephen Greer that came my way, where it was like, until as a planet we're all peaceful and we're all working together, we're going to still be in some form of quarantine and not be able to fully access the Stargate system, which makes sense. And I feel like they also were disabled. So the dark ETs the dark beings that are still trapped down here, that they don't have access to be up to anything either and creating havoc for us, right? But yeah, absolutely. I feel there's a lot of stargates in the east middle. I don't know what I'm allowed to say. So I know we're on G rated.
So do you think we'll ever step into like a Star Trek type future? I mean, because I mean, like, how is our country gonna, especially the America, like, we're so like ununited over all these problems, like, you know,
so is Canada, so is the whole planet. So I'm almost thinking, so that cosmic event we just went through, I feel it's going to be something like that that's going to unify everyone. I feel like that's why we all want disclosure so much. Because when the masses understand that the truth hasn't been told, that we're not the only planet that has life, that there are other beings out there that are more far advanced, that they're traveling interdimensionally. And that's what the message I got about the sun was. The sun is a Stargate system. And of course they allowed to be seen, others to film and to be seen, because it's time, because we're all the ones that are going to be understanding about disclosure. So I agree. Like, it feels like it's so far away. Right now, we have a lot of hurdles to get through, but it's a big part of it for sure. And I'm excited. We will get there. I mean, it can't be any faster for you and me, right? But
I know, right?
But the original Stargate system got disabled so that there was no funny business. Yeah. So I'll just maybe finish up with the reading, and then I don't know if you want to check for questions, and then we can kind of go on to the.
Well, and the Mexico explains in the chat. I love his quote. He says, "Star Trek was predictive programming." I agree, but I would agree if we step into like what we think is going to be a Star Trek future, then I would say it definitely was, because like, you know, but like, it's like those of us that already know about the secret space program and stuff like that already know that stuff exists. But it's just like I said, getting the whole world to come around to our ideas and the way we think, you know, and that's what we really want, you know. I don't know if that'll ever be, you know. I hope I'm just kind of open-minded to everything, and I'm like, you know.
Me too. I think what I've noticed since the eclipse, like post-eclipse, because it was such an expansion, even souls that have been that I've known for a long time, that have been, you know, in working with angels and their higher self and all of that, even they are now. I saw someone post the other day, I think there's more going on in our solar system than we've been told. And I was like, yeah, but isn't that amazing that like some people that we think are so far advanced spiritually are still hanging on to these belief systems that our solar system is just what we've been told. And there's nothing beyond it, right? Like and I remember that movie with Jodie Foster a million years ago, Contact, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, I remember that. I love
that was awesome, right? Yeah, like that movie. Like, the thing is that she went through this massive Stargate system and ended up in a different planetary system. So that was really, to me, it was just like the truth. I just thought that was amazing. So anyway,
that movie was kind of like predictive programming too, or like, you know, like it's for it's almost like I feel like they put it has to be in the mind of someone, you know, for it to come out. So where were they getting the information?
It's probably it's probably a little bit of like downloads, like you and I get downloads or ideas, you know, like you get ideas to have different guests, and I get ideas to share different content from guides. And then the other thing is so those people that are creating the movies are getting that information, but then I also wonder, they probably have resources that are given to them to like, let's plant this information out in the collective now and see how they do with it. Yeah,
I agree.
Sure, right? Because I think, and I think, you know, it's been a long time. We've been waiting a long time. Like the original Star Trek series on TV was what, 1967? So it's been a long time. We also got that many of us are going through a lot of ascension symptoms right now. We're going through a light body activation, and I have been too. Like, I've been feeling very, like I said, very ungrounded. I've been needing to spend more time outside just to feel like I'm more connected to the earth. So if any of you are feeling that way, if you're feeling dizzy, not feeling quite right, we're still in this process of integrating everything that happened on that day. It was much more than just an eclipse. Okay. With that came in Archangel Michael's Deep Blue Dragon, which I love. And the message is just that we are protected. I also got, I think I shared it last week on my YouTube channel. All of the grid systems got upgraded, including the dragon portion, including the dragon ley lines as well. So they're fully here. They don't, you know, I don't feel that they look like the dragons in the movies. I feel they're energetic. I feel they're high frequency. So they'll show themselves to those that are, in their hearts and they can trust. But anyway, Archangel Michael's Deep Blue Dragon came in, and this is about ensuring that we're protected and clearing our paths to move forward. And then the final message is super interesting. We got the Golden Solar Dragon connected to the heart of Source. So look at this. That kind of looks like the sun, right? That kind of almost looks like an eclipse in a way. So I do feel the whole eclipse event was, predestined, set up. Whoever set it up, whoever's in charge of our matrix, it was set up to see how far humanity has come, to see who would be like Rob, like who would be brave to go out and just experience the energy and see how you felt through it. And there was no fear, right? Like it just was another story to keep everybody inside. And then we got the Golden Solar Dragon, which is all about the sun. This dragon is completely connected to the sun. It just is, what happened, the message is what happened is that our DNA is and did get reprogrammed on that day.
Yeah.
And we got elevated through that day. So that's pretty cool.
So it's those all activations.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to have a big nap that day.
Yeah. I've been having to a lot recently. I don't know if it's ascension symptoms or what it is, I've been working out a lot more. I've been trying to eat a lot healthier. I'm taking the fatty liver thing seriously. And I think I'm going to do another parasite cleanse. I was using a really good parasite cleanse. I was using Scram, thanks to my friend Matthew Mornion. And then I did the liver flush too. I think I talked about that last time. I'm going to do the liver flush again because I did the liver flush and I didn't get really many stones to come out. So I think if I do it again, it'll work again. But
Rob,
liver flush works great.
Maybe what you can do later is post what you're doing in your community tab or on your Facebook page, and then I can look at it too, because I feel like I'm supposed to be doing a cleanse right now as well. So that would be cool.
I think we all have to,
Yeah, I agree. I did kind of do like various, like through those 4 days, I wasn't really hungry. So I basically just lived, like I made a vegetable soup. So I basically just lived on fluids and soup and smoothies for about 4 days until my appetite came back. So I kind of did a different kind of cleanse in a way. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
Are there any questions or should we move on to another topic?
Just people who want like readings at the end, so we'll do like personal readings at the end, guys. So like if anybody wants a personal reading, well, I'll like when we're like 45 minutes in, I'll have you put your questions in the chat, whoever wants a reading. And then someone sent me a small PayPal, so yeah, I got that. Cool. Thank you. And yeah, we'll do that at the end. But so whatever you want to get into next.
Should we maybe talk about Jupiter? Since we're already talking about the solar system. Okay, so I'd like you to share your wisdom too. So my higher self said yesterday to put down, because I was asking for topics, right? Like that's why I messaged you, because I haven't been paying attention to what's been going on since the eclipse. So my higher self said, like, let's pose the question of, is Jupiter a planet or is it a star? Is it a station? A star station, right? Like if you think about Deep Space Nine or, that kind of thing. So I already pulled some cards and we can pull some more cards. That I did, what I got from the cards I pulled earlier is that it's a Stargate system as well. And it's helping to bring in activations for us to think beyond the box. So it's the biggest one in the system to help sort of our consciousness expand. It is about abundance. It is about prosperity. And it's also about moving us over to the new Earth grid system, which will be a new abundant and prosperity system as well, which has all sorts of names out in the truther community. So anyway, what about you, Rob? Have you had like any guests on your show about that have talked about like any of our planetary bodies or Jupiter being a station?
No, but I was just thinking about the movie Jupiter Ascending. That was it's with Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis. It was made. Let me see here. I think it was 2015. I'm looking it up now, and this is just another example of how Hollywood portrays reality.
Yes.
I was going to look up the.
So I haven't seen that, so I'm going to put that on my list to watch.
Yeah. So it says Earth and countless other planets are established by families of transhuman and alien royalty for the purpose of harvesting and resulting organisms to produce a youth serum for elites on other planets. So it's yeah, that sounds about like what's going on here.
Exactly. Yeah,
But now I
exactly.
haven't gotten into that yet. Like if Jupiter is on space station,
Well, what I've
I
noticed is
think
when I
maybe it
do,
could be.
yeah, what I've noticed is when I look at the astrology, it's always a big deal when Jupiter does something. It's like it's a big deal when it moves into a
Yeah.
new sign, when it like conjuncts something. It's always like at the forefront of all the astrologers. So that's why I wanted to sort of ask yesterday. So I just pulled a couple of more cards while you were talking. It is part of our activation system. I got like a higher self wisdom and also crown chakra upgrade. We also got this makes sense. We got the crystal skull. So there's a frequency coming from Jupiter. This is through the Galactic Akashic records. There's a frequency coming through Jupiter that's huge, that's impacting a lot of us right now for this expansion. I've had ear buzzing and sinus issues and all sorts of things happening. So it's not even just about the upgrades coming through our sun. Jupiter has a big role in everything that we're dealing with right now. And when this is interesting, this is the original card I got, it's called the Stargate Heart, but there's a Merkaba, which is a Stargate above it, and then the Emerald City, like from Wizard of Oz, is like, so we're on an adventure, and Jupiter is helping us move forward and be part of this this expansion, this new level of consciousness, this awakening. And this conjunction that's coming on the 20th is to help another group of the collective awaken to a lot of
That's
things.
fascinating.
Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't too sure if you had any guests on about it. I feel like there are going to be people coming forward, maybe even through some of your SSP programs or something, starting to talk about visitations to these other planetary systems, like the moon, like the moon.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm getting the.
I love the Andromedan's question. The Andromedan says, hi, I can't take it here anymore. When will I go? We were going to wait for the personal questions at the end, Andromedan, but I had to bring that out. Like, I know a lot of people don't like it here. It's a lot of trials and tribulations, ups and downs every day.
It's tough. Well, it's tough here because we know so much. So how do we just wander around and be like we're not asleep anymore? So how do we just wander around and just be and try and be in joy when we know that there's all these dark agendas going on in the background and we don't even know what's true anymore? We don't even know what the truth is because it seems like everything's been infiltrated, even the truthers communities. So look at how much confusion there was before the eclipse. Like even there were people saying don't go outside and all of that. I agree. So I can't take it. I understand. Do we want to answer his question now, or should we wait until
I guess we could now. So he maybe because he's not feeling well. Maybe,
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I agree with you, Andromeda. Like I think physical symptoms. Andromeda, type in a message. What's going on with you? What's been going on? I know, I know we do readings for you, but what's going on with you right now? How have you been feeling since the eclipse? Are you not feeling like physically well? Is it a mental process that's being detoxed out? Like for me, it's been everything. It's been everything. And I've had like really intense physical symptoms like allergies for like a month, and I don't have allergies. So that's been frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll just pull some cards for you and ask your higher self. Okay, you got the Arcturian light codes, which is about you being from the future, which is what we all are, right? It doesn't mean that we necessarily have to be connected to Arcturus, but it's like we're from the future. We're from another timeline. We came back in time to anchor in and elevate the collective in the timeline, both spiritual and mentally. Okay. Yeah, I understand, sweetie. You also you're going through a crown chakra upgrade. So they're letting me know like this is actually all the suffering that we all feel like we're going through right now with like physical, mental, emotional symptoms is really to help reconnect us up to the divine source, like reconnect our crown chakras. Because when we came here, we downgraded and it's been painful for a lot of us, especially, I've been conscious about the shifts I've been conscious about being a starseed since 97, but I don't know if I ever shared this with you, Rob. I actually now have memories of seeing ships when I was a teenager. So I've been seeing ships for a long time, and this movie has been ever so slow, with us, knowing that we have family, etc. And, thankful for me, I've seen my Andromedan family, so I can share that experience with the Andromedan. But it didn't make it any easier when they showed themselves to me. It just made me homesick. And I haven't seen them since. So, I was grateful, like I was on a high that day when I saw them. And you know what they look like, when you the transporter images in Star Trek where they get transported from one reality to another, that kind of thing. That's how they looked. They were all green and then they just kind of dissipated. Yeah. You're also connected to Lemuria. So Lemuria was a very, oh my God, it was like a sweet energy, right? There was no dark stuff. There wasn't even a lot of technology. There was, but not compared to Atlantis. So you've got like this Lemurian essence to Andromeda. So all I can share with you, what they're sharing with me to share with you, is just do what you can every day to lift up your spirit, and that your frequency is needed where you are. Because we're all like these pillars of light. We're all these frequency holders that are holding together our area for this expansion, for this ever growing, moving into the new Earth grid system. Okay, there you got the pillar of light at the bottom. So I get it. I feel like that's also maybe why the Stargate system has been deactivated, because if smart starseeds could figure out how to get it up and running, many starseeds would have gone home by now, for sure. I totally get it. I've been there a million times. Let me just see. I'm going to just pull a dragon for you as well. You got Kuan Yin's pink dragon. So, okay, this is a great message for you and for everyone. So this dragon is actually about a karmic reset. So what they're letting me know, Andromeda, is to just continue to work on clearing out any karma for you or your ancestors. And this conjunction, so the message from Jupiter that came in is, you all have, and we had it through the eclipse, but many people were focused on the eclipse. We have an opportunity in the next couple of days to just say, I'm done with this. So maybe Andromeda's message to the universe will be like, I want to let go of everything, all the karma that I came in to clear, and that I would like to set the intention to be able to go home, right? Something like that. So this is a karmic reset with Jupiter right now. It's an opportunity. So
one thing is, I wanted to point out that, a lot of times when you do the readings, it was meant for the Andromedan, but can be for everyone, like whoever needs it at the time, right? Like
absolutely. It's like everything that comes in when I do readings, like even individual readings, is usually a message for the collective. Absolutely. I just pulled a couple more cards for you, so you have to be patient, which is so tough being down here. If we think about it, so when the Arcturian card came in, we think about, we're from the future where everything is free, and we just, everything gets replicated. We don't have to worry about power or clothes or anything like that. And we can just like telepath with beings on the ships. And then we're here where it's like, what do I have to do? I got to plug something in and I have to go to a store. And it just seems so backwards. I'm laughing about it because some days I've woken up going, what, I have to type on the keyboard? It's not like, voice activation is here now, but it's so funny. So everything this is a really interesting message for you and for everyone. It came in trapped in fear. So you're not trapped, but just keep working on releasing that and work on your sovereignty and freedom in this now moment, because that's a ripple effect for the whole, and that's a great message for all of us. It's a ripple effect for the whole collective. They want us to believe that we're trapped here, but we're not. We literally got chosen to come here to be on mission. And that's what we all kind of flip back and forth with. But I feel like maybe through the eclipse, like a lot of stuff came up for you, and it came up for a lot of people. And keep your vibe high. Keep your vibe as high as possible. Focus on things that really do bring you joy. It says rejoice in celebration. Okay.
I agree. And we've been doing this thing, and I hope that resonates with you, Andromeda, and hang in there. It's I
think Andromeda is speaking for many starseeds that are really fatigued, like burnt out. There's a lot of us that have been awake for a long time.
Yeah. One thing we've been doing on when we have these shows is we've been doing a segment where we talk about like famous starseeds, and they've been mostly the classic rock people. We've been doing Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. We even did Michael Jackson and Prince, even though they weren't classic rock. We did Princess Di. So today we were going to talk a little bit about Janis Joplin, right?
Yeah, and I was thinking about doing her last time, but there was so much to talk about with the eclipse, right? So you know what's so interesting is that Texas, I forgot, like I did some research about her because it's been a long time. I haven't really looked at her story for a while, but she was born in Texas, January 19th, 1943 in Port Arthur. I do remember too, she did, like, in her short life, she did a lot of live shows, and she also was part of the Austin, Texas community as well. There was a lot of live music there. But she, yeah, okay. So she was 27 when she passed. She passed on October 4th, 1970. So Jimmy, Janis, and Jim Morrison all transitioned within weeks of each other. So that's super interesting.
That's weird.
Right?
That's strange.
Of course. Yeah. And the reason, I know we talked about the 27 Club before. So, and there's another level to it. Like there's this list that came in, and I felt they were part of this list because as time's gone on since they passed. Now that was kind of freaky for everybody in like the hippie community and the rock and roll music industry at that time. Like 3 of their top people left within weeks of each other. Like that was very traumatic, right? There's weird circumstances around all of their transitions. Like, was it planned? I did ask Janis, she did bring me some messages, but she didn't talk about that. We can maybe pull some more cards for her. So she transitioned on October 4th, 1970. She was in LA. Back in those days, nobody had security. So she was at a motel, and she was working with the same record producer as the Doors, Paul Rothchild. So they all knew each other. They were all part of the same. We used to go to the same festivals together, but apparently it was an accidental overdose. And what I started to look at the 27 list, because other people were on there, Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones, whole bunch of other souls that we can talk about another time too. Their deaths were always mysterious, and there never seemed to be like a clear who was there, what was going on. Like nothing was documented. But when she passed, it wasn't that she was necessarily in a bad space, but she was riddled with anxiety through most of her life. So she would gravitate towards alcohol and drugs to alleviate that.
Mexico Unexplained said in the chat, he said some people say those deaths were fake. Do you think that they could have done that they could have faked their deaths to, like, escape this reality and live somewhere else?
I just got my God bump, so it's potential, which is super cool. I only get those when there's truth to that. So
it would be cool to think of Elvis like still like was living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, remember back in the day, the Inquirer, they would always see like pictures of Elvis like somewhere, and you're like, is that really Elvis, or what's going on with that?
Well, if you look at Elvis, he's another one. He lasted a long time. He was in three categories, right? His music was in the 50s and then the 60s, and he made it till 77. So how amazing is that, right? Okay, on a starseed level, the connection between Jim and Jimmy and Janis is they were all from the Lyran star system. So that's their main connection. And she was in good spirits. She was working on an album towards the end, but again, something happened where all these things, it's like an intersection of time came up to her where she had a lot of free time. And then apparently she went and she ordered some drugs, and then there were a bunch of people that overdosed that weekend that apparently came from the same dealer. So I'll just we can pull some more cards on her, but I'll just let you know couple things. I asked her if she was taken out. She didn't answer that yet, but she did say she came in as a female to change her reality, her lineage, her ancestral lineage from being born in Texas and being a female at that time, because she's born in 43, right? And she passed in 70. The other thing she shared with me is that, like, as a female, she was expected to get married and have kids. Like that was the programming. The other thing is that she also changed the rock industry, because she really was the only female rock artist that just busted through everything, because it really was a male industry up until then, until she hit the stage. And at the end, when I researched it, she became her own. She wasn't with the band. It was just Janis. And then she had backup musicians, but she'd left all the bands that she had been involved in. Yeah.
Wow.
And she also wanted me to share with you all, she said she was awake. She was awake. Her third eye was open. Yeah.
That's interesting. So
Yeah.
she knew. Yeah.
Well, I think it's because of the pharmaceuticals they all did. I think that's why they were awake, because Jim Morrison would scream that in their concerts. He would say, "Wake up," to the audience. He would scream at them. The 27 Club, which has many people right now, and there's a list going along saying that a lot of these people either are still alive and they're somewhere else, and or they've left this dimension to move into the higher dimension because their role was complete. But there's a whole list of like these individuals that were, mysteriously drowned in a bathtub. There's quite a few of those, right? That Jim Morrison's in that category. Jimmy and Janis apparently, accidentally overdosed very close to each other, like within a couple of weeks. And what they wanted to share with me about being in part of the 27 Club, what did they say? They came in again to clear the lineage, and they were all awake. So they were all very aware. I think too, I think when they, at the end of the 60s and moving into the 70s, there was a big like, oh my God, I thought being famous and being in the music industry was going to be so cool. And it ended up being, they started to realize like about all the leeches and all the dark stuff that was behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
It sounds about right.
By the way, they did all know each other, and they didn't like each other.
They didn't like each other?
No, there was a big kerfuffle with the three of them at a club, and they're apparently back in the day, and I've been to the Whiskey A Go-Go on Sunset Strip. It's very small. So back in the day, a lot of the clubs were very tiny, and bands would just show up and play. Like it wasn't like they would say, come to the bar. Everybody would just sort of show up and jam together. Yeah, and apparently Jim Morrison and Janis had a huge fight, and she hit him over the head with a whiskey bottle because he was being so rude to her. And then Jim was always trying to take over when Jimmy was on stage, and Jimmy was not having any of it. He didn't.
That's interesting.
So Jim Morrison apparently, like when he drank, he just became this other person, and he just became obnoxious and rude. So he sounded like he was hilarious.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We have about 60 people watching between your channel and my channel. So that's a good turnout. Like I'm trying to think of what else we could cover. We just have 2 people who requested readings. But like whenever we can do that, whenever, it's no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a couple of cards just popped out for her, and then maybe just look in the chat and see if there's any questions, and then we can move on to the readings. So just a couple of cards pulled out for Janis. So she, like I was just saying, she was completely awake. So she was very like in tune with, I'm here on a mission. I know I came in to change everything. And she was very aware, and she was also in her power. So yeah, maybe just see if there's any other questions besides the readings, Rob. And then I'm just going to ask her if she has any messages around, was she taken out, or is she elsewhere right now? Let's see what she says. So apparently she was also engaged. She was newly engaged, and she was supposed to be getting married as well. Okay, so she got the third eye, so she was aware of what was going on in and around her. But so she had a lot of anxiety. Her root chakra was that's what I feel. I feel like all of them were burnt out. I feel like they were all like making albums and doing concerts, and like they were doing talk shows and all sorts of things. They were always on the go. So her root chakra was destabilized. And this is interesting. She got the Devil card. So there was energy. There was energy in and around her to probably telling her to leave.
No, not many questions, but we did have this comment from Melinda Crocker. Melinda says, I was in the totality. It was cloudy, so no visible ships. I work in retail, and since the eclipse, everyone is complaining of fatigue and sinus infections. Yeah. I don't have that. I do have bad sinuses now, which I thought is weird for spring. I mean, well, I guess it's not weird for spring, but like I just have a lot of extra phlegm. I don't know what it is. Like I notice that's happening when I sleep. Like I'm like cough, and I have no clue what that is,
No, well, I'm glad, Melinda. Thank you for sharing that, because sometimes we all just feel like it's just us, right? So Rob, you and I are both sharing. I've had the same, and I've had it really since the end of February. So I've been trying to get down to the bottom of it, like a formula that will work for me, because I don't have allergies, and this isn't normal for me. But apparently a lot of people have been experiencing fatigue and sinus issues. So that would go along with the wrapping up of like our skull system is being changed. And the release of fluid and phlegm is actually, I know it sounds bizarre, but it's like old programming and old belief systems. It's the way our body moves stuff out. So so it's not comfortable. Absolutely, it's not comfortable, but I've been feeling it too. And I've actually been feeling all this. I've been feeling like a clamp spin on my head. I've been feeling all this pressure from it too. And sometimes my ear buzzing gets super loud. So thank you for sharing that, Melinda. But yeah, I think the fatigue is quite prevalent at this time. Pink Bell is drinking coffee, organic, but I'm drinking coffee and I'm not a coffee drinker because I've needed to stay awake.
Well, we got a lot of requests for readings.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to readings then. That sounds good.
I can start with this one. Kara Jo Miller. I'm starting with this one because she sent me a small PayPal and then she didn't put her question in. So like
maybe just maybe a general reading for her. We'll just ask.
Yeah, I guess Kara, if you could put your question in the chat now, that way we know what you want to ask.
And everyone's going to get a dragon message today too, because they're very happy to be here and bringing their messages. They're like, woo! I feel like more dragons came in through the eclipse as well. So, and they're very high. They're the high dimensional dragons. Like they would be 12th dimensional and higher. Okay. So what was her name again? Sorry.
Kara Jo Miller.
Kara Jo Miller. Okay. So the reading's at 46 minutes. We're going to just ask your Akashic records and any messages that need to come in for you. Okay. Akashic Stargate. I'll get down to all the messages shortly. I just want to pull some messages for you. Sirius Star System. This one wanted to come forward too. Palladian. Wow. Okay, that's cool. And let me just pull a couple of tarot messages too and just see if there's anything else that wants to come in from your team. Okay, you got material and spiritual prosperity. Oh, wow. Material harvest. You got a 6 and a 9 and an 8. Positive movement forward. So let's take a look. And then I'll pull a dragon message for you. So a general message is like that eclipse energy and you're still going through it. So when it says it's an Akashic Stargate, right? We've been talking about Stargates a lot today. So think about everything that you would like in your reality. And this is an opportunity for you to align with that and choose that door. Like that old, what was it? Let's make a deal where you choose door number 1, 2, or 3. So you want to think about what you want to align with. You're also being activated for your soul mission and your purpose as well. You're very closely connected to both the Palladian and the Sirian star systems, which means you're a blue ray. So you are absolutely here on mission to bring forward, like for your own expansion, for your own belief systems, but just to let you know, like you're connected to both of those star systems as well. Okay, so I call those blue rays. I'm just gonna see if there's anything. You're to be seen and keep pushing through with whatever you're dealing with right now. The Palladian activation there's a resolution coming for you if you've been working. You also have these benevolent beings that are part of your team. Now, let me just see. So you got a material harvest, material and spiritual prosperity. You got a 6 and a 9. So that's or 9 and a 6. So 9 is about completion, but this is a great message for all of us. Honestly, everyone, when we're not doing well or confused, go into gratitude for everything that you have, because that brings you into this now moment. And then it's like a reset and you can freshly start. So you can do things like journal, set intentions, go out in nature, but just be grateful for whatever you have. And then that resets your timeline. And then you've got a wonderful overall message. Number 8, positive movement forward. So I feel like for you and for all of us, we're really going to feel the momentum of the moving forward, which I know it's April, it's crazy, but after Mercury goes direct. So it goes direct on the 24th. And then like that week, the glitches with all the technology in our lives, everything will get like a reset by the 24th. So yeah, it's been quite the beginning of the year.
Oh, you answered her question because she said nothing in particular, looking for my important info from my records that might help me find my path.
Yeah, well, hopefully that helped you. Oh my gosh, and you got the dark blue galactic dragon, just to make sure that I got the messages right for you. So there's galactic dragons that work with all the benevolent ETs, and I'm talking about benevolent ETs for you. So for those of you who are new, don't know, the Palladians were the first group that came to me late '97, and it freaked me out. because I didn't have any background. Didn't have any protection. It terrified me at the time, but they consistently showed up and helped me and supported me for years. So that's kind of how I worked it out. But anyway, the dark blue galactic dragon is to help you listen to the voice, your inner voice, and the voice of the universe, which I love.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps. Yeah.
I'll get to the next one. I feel bad. Raina Lusted said she's been so ill. She's been in the hospital. She's been following my channel for a long time. I hope you get better, Raina. Like, I hope you're okay. That's really scary. It is
scary.
One is from Melinda McClung. I just had her picture up on the screen. She says, I would love a reading, and she says, thank y'all.
Okay. Just like general messages?
Yeah, just general messages.
Okay, I just want to say a prayer for Raina, and I hope that you're feeling better as well. And many souls have suddenly will end up in the hospital. And unfortunately, it is a weird kind of reset in a way. Like, it either alleviates, we know what's going on with our body, or it forces you to come home and take care of yourself. Because I had another client recently, the same thing happened. She just had to have some kind of surgery, and then it forced her to go within and take care of herself while she was home recovering. So hopefully you get better soon. Sorry. Okay. So what was the soul's name?
Melinda McClung.
Hi, Melinda. So I'm just going to ask the Akashic Records to bring in the best messages for you. Yeah, positive thoughts for Raina. I had somebody react to the word when I said prayer yesterday, and I said I'm not religious at all, but prayer is a superpower, because when I have been stuck or felt like I've been under energy attacks, I have a couple people in my life who prayer is their superpower. I didn't need to believe in it until I asked them to help me, and it cleared the energy. It cleared the energy of the energies that were sort of trying to come in and put me in a box and not allow me to move forward. That's how I started believing in prayer. So prayer is a superpower. It's not connected to any religion. It's like a manifestation and an intention to help others. And I just wanted to share that. So when I say prayer,
I agree 100%. Yeah. I mean, I pray too. I just don't know, who I'm praying to sometimes, but I do pray.
Yeah. So, what I've been doing, maybe this will help everyone. I asked to be put in a bubble of protection, and that I'm connected to Prime Source, that my prayers go to Prime Source. And I actually was called to help some other individuals last week. And because I know that I've been helped, I've just asked these other individuals to be helped, because some people don't have anyone to pray for them, or they don't, or they think it's all connected to the old religious, dogma, for sure. I agree. Okay. I apologize. This is what my brain's been doing today. Sorry, Rob. What was her name again? Because my brain just
Melinda McClung.
Thank you, Melinda. Okay. Asking for your records. All right. You got the Stargate Heart, which is super beautiful. It's one of my favorite cards with the Emerald City in the background. You also got the Orion activation and the Ancestral Realm. So I'm just going to pull a couple other cards, and then I'll see what the overall message is from your higher self. Got number 3, solar plexus. Number 5, emotional loss. And number 2, intuition. And this is actually the High Priestess card. Yeah, I just thought I'd use this deck today, just make it easier. All right, so you're definitely galactic, and this is interesting that the Orion activation came in. You're absolutely starseed, but you've got these cellular memories of the Galactic Wars, which I've shared about in the past, just connected to the Star Wars. The original Star Wars series was the story of the Galactic Wars that are going on in the Orion system, but we have beautiful memories, and I love it. This is like a portal of very powerful starseed energy that you're being lined up with. You also got ancestral realm. So like you, me, all of us, the reason it's so tough for us sometimes is we're not just clearing for ourselves, we're clearing for our ancestors who got up to all sorts of shenanigans because they weren't aware. They weren't consciously aware and awake of what we all know now. So some of the clearing that you're going through right now is karmically connected to that. You're going through a karmic release, and you came in to heal the lineage on both your mother and your father's side. And you got the Stargate Heart, which we talked about, but that's what I just heard was, and it kind of goes along with the emotional loss, any sort of emotions that we're all dealing with right now is healing our heart chakra. So you're going through a clearing and a detox of anything, and it's a perfect time to just forgive anything from the past and allow your heart chakra to expand and open and move back into your center. Okay, you're very intuitive. You got the high priestess. You're very, very intuitive, but you're to keep your cards close to your deck right now. The high priestess is very aware of what we're to share at what time. You know what? Like, I'd love to be running around with a Star Seeds t-shirt on right now and just talking to everybody about that, but we have to be selective. So that's what they're saying, is like, you're very intuitive and you're working on expanding your intuitive abilities, but you can also do that quietly as well. Okay. And then this is all like solar plexus. This is all for all of us. Our throat chakras can't expand if our solar plexus, if we still have like all this energy stuck in our solar plexus connected to ancestral fears, all of that. So you, me, all of us are clearing out old energy, old control energy in our solar plexus so we can expand. So hopefully that helps you. And I'm going to pull a dragon message for you and see what wants to come in today for you. Oh, you got the alpha dragon, which is like a black, very powerful dragon with a feather. So right away, I'm hearing like you should be journaling. I'm writing, like doing some kind of clearing through journaling, and then also activate your new timeline. And this will help you harness, this dragon is the alpha dragon, to help you harness the divine masculine energy of manifestation and creation and power. I love this. The message is destroy the old, visualize your dream, and help to manifest the new world. So all of us basically shadow work, all of us collectively doing our shadow work right now. We're healing so much for the collective. It's like we literally are burning up and releasing the old and creating the new. So hopefully that helps.
I agree. Wow. I'll pick someone that I hasn't got one in a while. This is Nikos. There were a couple of super chats, but I don't think we're gonna be able to get to them all. But but this is from Nikos. He I think I missed him one time, so I figured maybe we could get him. He just says one reading, please, if possible.
Okay. Is that a turtle? I love that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I love that. That's so cool. First, I thought it was a galactic symbol. I thought, no, I think it's a turtle. All right, going to just ask Nico's higher self and the Galactic Akashic Records to bring forward any information for Nikos that would help him at this time. Okay. You two are connected to the Pleiadian star system, so you're also a Blu-ray. As a Blu-ray, we've got so much information internally that we're unpacking. We also came in to be part of this collective Starseeds on the ground crew. So that's super cool as well. The message came in before as well, resolution. So the Pleiadian teams are assisting you with anything that you're trying to work on to move forward. Got the Holy Grail, which is one of my favorite messages as well, right? And again, I've shared this before, the choose wisely, the knight in the Indiana Jones movie that had to choose the cup of Christ. Okay, so you're right now, you're on an inner journey. You're to go within and be guided to find your truth and to move forward. And then the final message. Oh, this is interesting. The Venetian Galactic Council. So this is another thing I find when there's a big movement in Jupiter. Venus is always somehow there too. So I haven't done a deep dive on Jupiter. Maybe that'll be another show, but Venus is also, I feel like, a very powerful Stargate system for all of us. So you're very connected to the Venetian system. They're part of your council. It says Venetian Galactic Council. They're part of your council that are working with you. And this is interesting. So the message is about your mission. It's about to answer the call, and it's your time to shine. So if there's any ideas or anything that you've been thinking about, Nikos, or if you're feeling like you've been stuck and you want to expand and move forward, they're there to help you bring in that information right now for you. We got the Lion Power card. So that's one of my Lionsgate messages. It's also about you stepping into your power, and you are connected to the Lyran star system as well. And you got two cards right away. Number 13, transformation, right? And universe. So you might not be feeling so fantastic to move forward right now, but you're being given an opportunity to cocoon. And when you're ready, you're going to know, like, you're going to wake up one morning going, I'm ready to start on some new ideas. So just know you are transforming into a butterfly, and the universe fully supports you on your path and your expansion. So let me pull a dragon message for you. The fire and the water dragon. I love it. This is like a really cool message. Enables your life to flow with loving force, prepare for change and to move forward quickly, expect the unexpected and have fun. Like that goes right along with this. Like you've been in a cocoon stage, like a waiting stage of transformation, but then it's time for you to, when things start to move, it's like the Chariot card in the tarot, it will move quickly. And so the waiting room, which a lot of us have been in for a couple of weeks now, is a potential to really fine tune about where we want to go next, what we want. Like maybe some of the old ways aren't moving anymore. Maybe it's time for us to share about the new.
Yeah. We just have one more. This is from, I figured we could do one more. This is from Tiffany Rumping. This is a different question. I figured this would be a good one to answer. She says, hi, friends, Starseed Origins. Is there anything from my past life that's affected me to this point, and who follows me into this lifetime? She said.
Okay. Are you able to, can you put that up on that comment up?
She sent me a PayPal. So I got the message from PayPal. I don't even know if she's still in the chat because she's not,
what's her name?
Tiffany Rumping.
Hi, Tiffany. Okay, I'm just going to tap in with your Akashic Records and see what wants to come in about Starseed Origins.
Tiffany, if you're still in the chat, put a message in the chat so we can see your so we can tap into you.
Okay, well, a couple of really cool messages came in for you. First off, the galactic origins that are coming through right now, and a reminder for all of us, we have a lot of different galactic aspects. Like even when I do the famous star seeds, multiple lifetimes with different aspects, right? But there's usually one that comes forward. So at this moment, you also, a lot of Pleiadians in the house today. So I love that because the Pleiadians are actually very healing. The reason I feel like they come to many of us to work with them is because they are all about healing. They've got, hi Tiffany, they've got local light ships that we can go to for healing and for answers as well. So you are also a Blu-ray and you're connected to the Pleiadian system. That's the key one that wants to come in for you right now. What I love about the Pleiadians coming in today, there's so much information out there that you can go research and listen to meditations with the Pleiadians. And there's also Barbara Manciniak wrote Bringers of the Dawn, which is still like one of my go-tos. Like yeah, it's a great book, and there's an audio version on YouTube too, so everyone can go listen to it. But it was like the ultimate Starseeds 101 guide. If any of you feel confused at all, track that down, and you'll feel like you're not alone. Okay. The other really cool thing is that you got the Seraphim gateway. So the Seraphim, and there's that sort of light. They've been speaking to me lately. First off, you're divinely supported. So you're not just a starseed, you're divinely supported by Source. The Seraphim are these high frequency angelic beings that are around Source, which is why we all came, and we're all like embodying that. But so you're also going through a voice activation. So I'm not sure if you haven't been feeling great, if your throat's been scratchy. But what the Seraphim shared with me recently is that they're connected to the Jedi Order. I've been talking about this recently, so that many of us are Jedis. We've been connected to that order for a long time, and we're embodying and remembering more about that, because it wasn't just something that was made up. It's that we were part of that. And we can't have our lightsabers back until we're all like in a more peaceful reality. But the Seraphim are sharing with me the Jedi Order. That's what they're connected with as well. The Swords of Light, which is what lightsabers are. You also got the Divine Matrix. So this solar eclipse for you has been an absolute activation portal. It's been to move you into higher levels of expansion and consciousness, and just to start to notice the synchronicities as well. Okay.
That's amazing. That was amazing. Well, I mean, we've been going. I guess we could finish up there because I'm on this new workout kick. I'm spending a lot of time on working out. Like sometimes I'm working out twice a day. Oh, sorry, you're not done yet.
No, I just realized I had pulled a dragon for her. So she also got the dark blue galactic dragon, which we just had. So this is amazing, because that means so many of you have come through the eclipse and you're just like, I want more. I need more information. So you're basically, the message is, Tiffany, all of you, you're being called into higher service. You're being called up into mission, and to start thinking about what that might be for you. And the dark blue galactic dragon is there to support your ascension and your awakening into the next level of your mission. Okay. Right. Sorry, Rob. Continue.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, I got to go work out, and and then I have the whole rest of the night. I don't have to do any more interviews, so I'm gonna
Good.
just spend the whole night working out and trying to
I,
get back in shape.
So I've been doing that too. And I feel like what I've been shown is a lot of us are like kind of gently moving back into working out more, because when we go through a lot of body upgrades, we're not able to move all that energy as easily. Not everybody, but a bunch of us. But I've been guided that too. That's actually I've been in JEDI training while I've been sleeping. And I've been waking up in the morning with like a list of things I need to do, which is like right now I'm getting my cardio back up. So I love that. So I feel like we've been seeing each other on the ships.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing any strength training yet. I'm just doing cardio, but I'm gonna add in strength training like real soon.
Me too.
But like I'm trying to like lose weight fast. So
I
it's
think
like
we're all being called to sort of strengthen up our physical avatars, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, I agree.
I agree. Yeah. So that I've been called to do that as well. So that's perfect. Anyway, this has been fun. It's been great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find you and how they can book a reading and stuff, and get any of your services and all the services you offer? And thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. If anybody would like to work with me, everything's on my website, and email is the best way to get a hold of me, even though I'm on a bunch of platforms. If you want to follow me on Rumble and Spotify as well, or Telegram, I do kind of different stuff over there. But my community tab on YouTube, that's the best place to, like, I put a lot of stuff in there daily. And yeah, all sorts of things. Like the hot things right now are the JEDI training, the earth grid work, the soul mission activations, and of course I offer just like quantum akashic deep dive readings as well. So all sorts of, and dragon activations. There's all sorts of things going on. So it's so much fun. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, and Crystal Kelly said she wants to get a hold of you. It's your email is just alohapinkbella@gmail.com, right?
Yes. Yeah. Look forward to it, Crystal. That sounds great.
So I can put that in the chat. It's going to take me a while to chat. Hold on, let me put it in.
Okay.
Wait.
It should be in the description box after we finish too, right? Because I think
it is. It is in the description box too, but I'll put it in the chat just to, Arizona Raven put your website in the chat too. And I just put your
thank you, Raven. That's sweet. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been an honor to be here. It's been so cool.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Well, thank you, Bella. And I'll be talking to you soon. And thanks, guys. And I'll talk to you all soon. Have a good night.